subject lately, so that's why I've been talking about food a lot lately. But we're gonna dive deep. Why are you addicted to your foods, and how to kick the addiction, or how to kick the curve of this addiction is basically consuming your life. The reason why you have diabetes mellitus, the reason why you have hyperglycemia, the reason why you have liver disease, the reason why you have vaginal infections, yeast infections, candida. I mean, truly, truly, we're gonna dive deep and show you how the food industries are connected directly to the pharmaceutical companies, and they're pushing this agenda to make you fat. They is pushing this agenda of obesity. They're pushing this agenda to get you on their sugars, to get you on their salts, to get you on their lipids, or what we call fats. They got names for this stuff. They're literally it's scientists that's connected. The food industry are literally hiring scientists to chemically crack addict, and somebody that's addicted to junk foods, or somebody that's addicted to bleached white flour, somebody that's addicted to processed sugar, somebody that's addicted to high salt diets. The dopamines in the brain fire off the same. The hypothalamus gland looks exactly the same. So this means sugar. This mean fats, this mean all these cholesterol building foods, and this mean all these high salt diets or controlled substance. These things are drugs, and they are neurotoxins, and it is killing us. It's killing us. We are quick to down eating food that's causing worse problems than the crack cocaine. Eating foods that is so-called food. I'm gonna call this so-called food because it's not food. Because they're literally taking all of the phytonutrients and the biophotons out of it. And the moment that you take the nutrients out of the food begins to die. So the whole question is, how does it still look like it's living? Well, they're putting all types of preservatives and additives on it, and then they're putting it on the shelves. And this stuff be on shelves for months, y'all. Months. And they're literally going in and changing the expiration date on this stuff. Well, guess what? It is a high preservative, salt. Guess what else? Sugar. Bleach white flour. Why do you think they bleach it? Because they know that they have to have a long shelf life where they can make the bang for their buck. So they're literally giving you food that's not food at all, and the only thing you're getting out of it is the sugar, is the salt, is the preservatives, is the fat, is all of these things, the dextrose, the dextrose, the maltose. You're not even getting the simple sugars that you need from these foods. So these foods are literally fires off in your brain, fires off in your hypothalamus gland, that helps you control your emotions, all controlled by melatonin and serotonin. So dopamine, so high dopamine things, or that gives you a high dopamine response, or what we're going to call they basically call it the happy drug, or the treating drug, something where you feel like you're going to get paid to treat. You notice if you look at it through an MRI, the brain just start firing off neutrons, and it shows up very red. That's the dopamine high. But what you see if you start studying, the more you get on these foods, the dopamine effect don't start happening no more. It actually starts to sterilize all of the chemical factories in your brain and dehydrate your brain. So foods that are high in processed sugars, and foods that are high in salts, sources, it begins to die. So what they do is they dry it out. They dehydrate the hell out of it. Because in order to even make it last long, you have to dehydrate it. So guess what they do? They suck all the water out of it, and guess what is left with? All these isolates, all these salts, high salts. Then they add more salt to it. All these sugars. Then they add extra sugar to it. Then they bleach it. Then what they do is they put it in these incubators, and they mix it with the bones and the bone marrow of pigs and of cattle and of cows and all other types of things. Sometimes they put rat poison in it. I mean, once we get into what we're going to get into, it's going to blow your mind. And you wonder why, when you're hungry, you get angry, or you get pissed off, you get mad, you become rage, because you are literally having withdrawal symptoms because you need a food, you need these certain things. Or when a woman gets sad, she immediately runs to sugars and chocolates and ice creams because she's chasing that dopamine effect. She's chasing dope. Literally, literally, their employees is a streamline of scientists. It's not even regular people working. Now, it's probably regular people working in the shipping department and through the website. But who's making and producing the food? That shit being made in a straight laboratory. Heart disease, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. People don't have to be cancerous from all the acidic residue that these things leave behind. You see what I'm saying? So it's certain ways that you can kick this addiction. It's just they're not teaching it to you, because the moment they teach that to you, then you're not going to be a consumer and you're not going to be buying their foods anymore. The whole thing is to get you addicted. That's the whole thing. Whole thing. Alright. Alright, we ready? Okay, I see some nines. So I want to start this off like this. Alright. If I was a food company, yeah, let's start it off like this. If I was a food company and I wanted to make millions and millions, matter of fact, we're going to go billions, because that's how much they make. I wanted to make billions of dollars off of the people buying my food. But if the food was holistic, and I'm going to find a way that when they eat this food, it feels like they are never getting full. Never getting full. That way they can keep eating, they can keep eating, they can keep digging their hand in that bag of chips until it's all gone, and then when it's all gone, you want more, so you go get another bag of chips. Or when the candy bar are gone, you want more, so you go buy another candy bar. When the alcohol is all gone, you go buy another fifth or another pint. Or when all this food is gone, you want to keep eating. They actually have a word called vanish caloric density, y'all. We're going to look this stuff up. Vanish or vanishing caloric or calorie density. And it's basically where they give you a crunching effect, where the scientists that came up with a way where if you chew on a chip, and this is just one, but let's not even get into the chickens. We just gonna talk about chips. When you can chew on a chip, and the chip will instantly melt in your mouth by way of a reaction to your salivary glands and your salivary solvent that's inside of your mouth, and it literally depletes all of the calories and everything, and the only thing you left over with is with the taste. But when you swallow it, it's damn near in a liquid form, and it's not even whole no more. So it tricks your brain, and your brain literally looks through this melanin transmitter and say, dang, that tastes so good, but I didn't get full off of it, or I didn't feel nothing going down my esophagus to my stomach. All the macro phytobiophoton nutrients out of the food, for you won't feel fulfilled, for you won't feel full, and for your body will not build off of it. And then they replaced it with these sweeteners, with these artificial sweeteners, with bleach white sugar, with